The hands and foot speed drill is an amazing drill to help with your lateral quickness on the infield. Whether you play third, short, second, or even first, oftentimes we're going to be moving laterally quickly to pick up a baseball, turn and get it to first base. So with this drill, we can do this in large groups or individual training, but we're going to need 2 baseballs, 2 speed and agility cones or something to make sure that we've got our boundaries set up. Then we're going to be strapping on Kbands to add that element of resistance to our hands and foot speed here. The hands and foot speed drill is a great drill to help with lateral quickness by adding resistance of Kbands. It's a great hands drill for working with the baseball from side to side. You're going to need 2 baseballs so that you can keep continuous motion from left to right. No hesitations. As soon as the ball's down and you're getting it back to the receiver, you're going to toss it back out for the infielder to continue to move laterally as quick as possible. Keep in mind that we got to have great body positioning. Bottoms are down, heads are up. Keep your hands out in front of your body. You should never be catching the ground ball between your legs, so we've got to make sure that we keep that proper infield fielding mechanics down throughout this drill. The drill set should be short and explosive, moving quickly through the resistance and then moving on to a small break in between while the next guy goes. By doing this, we're going to stimulate more muscles and get a little bit more explosive with the proper muscle activation. If we take it out to a longer time duration, your feet are only going to get slow and we're going to lose that proper infielding position. So move quick, explosively, 10 to 12 seconds, and then move on to the next man. The hands and foot speed drill can be used in small groups or even a large team setting. Run stations and push through each individual set, and you're going to find great results with this drill. You're going to need 6 speed and agility cones spaced out evenly in 2 rows. To begin, we're going to need all of our athletes to strap on our Kbands so that we can work through some resistance training and help with our conditioning here during this portion. We're going to be doing resisted sprints to the front cone and then drop step exploding to the rear cone at an angle. As we move through our drop steps, it's important to stay nice and tight with our arms and be explosive with our gloves. Now, as we take our stutter steps onto that second cone, we're going to change our angle and move directly forwards again. You can move through this sequence all the way to the last cone for a couple warm-ups before we bring in the baseball. During this segment now, we're still going to be completing resisted sets, but we're going to field the baseball coming in at the front cone. You will be using about 2 to 3 baseballs to mix and match and keep each athlete on their toes. Field the ground ball in a good fielding position, give it a toss to the side, and then sprint back to the back row again. For the tosses heading to the rear cone, you're going to use an over-the-shoulder catch method. Throw it deep enough to where they have to extend their glove and continue sprinting to the spot. Mix and match the distances of the drop step throw. You can end each individual repetition with a longer throw. Be sure that when you're working through this drill, you start your lines on the left starting point and the right starting point so that we can get a little bit of equal resistance going both directions. You're going to complete 4 to 6 resisted rounds followed by 2 unresisted rounds. This is a great drill to use as stations with a large group or even some individual training on the weekends. This simple drill is easy to set up. You need 2 speed and agility cones to really maximize our jump length, as well as a set of Kbands with our multi-flex resistance bands. Got multiple levels that you can jump in to grab the right level for you, but this is going to be a great way for us to get great muscle activation moving laterally as we explosively drive through that zone getting to the other cone. The most important things to remember when completing this drill is we're trying to move laterally with stability. So don't get in a hurry and jump from cones and cones as fast as you can. The key is to jump with explosive power, land, find your center of balance, and then you're going to explosively jump again. By completing 4 to 6 resisted sets followed by 2 unresisted sets, you're going to get the optimal amount of muscle activation moving from side to side so that our 2 unresisted sets, we can really move explosively and get a little bit past that cone. One last tip I want to give you is to make sure that you keep your chest up as much as possible. You're going to get that urge to lean over and really drive from that position. But for baseball here, we want to maintain an erect position as much as we can so that when we're ready to bring the rotation into this drill, then we'll be in the proper positioning to get hip and shoulder separation. As you progress through this drill and get a little more comfortable with it, we're going to begin working with a leg drive with a power position slider drill.